This is Han Jae-ho, a gangster who is waiting for his friend Jo Hyun-soo outside the jail. Hyun-soo has been in jail for 3 years and he is finally free. Jae-ho and Hyun-soo are very close friends and they met in jail. Now, Jae-ho takes Hyun-soo to meet his boss, Mr. Ko, who is a big drug dealer. The next scene shows us a police officer, Shin In-suk, who is trying to catch Jae-ho and his gang. She has been following them for a long time, but she has no proof to arrest them. In-suk warns Mr. Ko that she will find evidence against him and his gang soon. She sees Jae-ho and Hyun-soo arriving and she makes fun of Hyun-soo for being young and then she leaves, threatening them all. The story then takes us back to 3 years ago when Jae-ho first saw Hyun-soo in the jail. There was a game in the jail where 2 people slapped each other until one of them gave up. There was a champion of this game who no one dared to challenge, but Jo, who was new in the jail, challenged him. Hyun-soo was skinny and weak compared to the champion, so everyone thought he would lose. But Hyun-soo fought bravely and cheated by punching the champion in the face. He won the game, but he also made enemies. The champion's friends attacked Jo, but Hyun-soo fought them all off with his wit and skill. Jae-ho saw this and he liked Jo's style. He went to Jo's cell at night and told him to be careful of the people he angered. He also offered him his friendship and protection. The next morning, Hyun-soo asked another prisoner about Han. He learned that Jae-ho was the most powerful person in the jail. He controlled the cigarette supply and many prisoners followed him. He also fixed many problems in the jail by fighting with other gangs. Hyun-soo was impressed by Jae-ho and decided to join him. The story continues with the present day, 13 days after Hyun-soo left the jail. Mr. Ko tells Hyun-soo that Jae-ho speaks highly of him and he is glad that he joined their gang. At the same party, Mr. Ko's nephew Kim Hyewon is also there. He doesn't like Hyun-soo because he is afraid that Hyun-soo will take his place. He starts a fight with Hyun-soo and Hyun-soo insults him back. Mr. Ko gets angry with Kim's childish behavior and slaps him hard. He tells him not to be a fool like his father. Kim feels humiliated and goes to a corner and cries. Jae-ho goes to him and comforts him. He tells him to be smart. The story then goes back to the past when a new prisoner came to the jail. His name was Kim Sung-han and he was a very dangerous gangster. Jae-ho knew about Sung-han and he didn't want to make enemies with him. He went to Sung-han and offered him a deal. He said they could share the cigarette business in the jail and avoid any conflict. Sung-han laughed at Jae-ho and rejected his offer. He also bribed the warden to be on his side. The next day, Jae-ho found out that one of his men was tortured by the guards. He went to the warden and confronted him. The warden got mad and beat him up with his guards. He then locked him in his cell and planned to kill him. He sent one of his men to stab Han, but Hyun-soo saw him and stopped him and beat him badly and saved Han's life. Jae-ho thanked Hyun-soo and told him that he had a cell phone with some photos. He said they could use them to blackmail the warden. The next day, they went to the warden and showed him the photos. They had pictures of Jae-ho with cigarettes and other things in the jail. They threatened to expose him if he didn't leave them alone. The warden was scared and agreed to their terms. The story goes on with Han's next plan. He wants to find out who sent Sung-han to kill him in the jail. He kidnaps Sung-han and one of his men and takes them to the kitchen. He tortures Sung-han by pouring hot oil on his feet. He asks him who sent him there. Hyun-soo can't stand the torture and leaves. Sung-han doesn't say anything, so Jae-ho tries to torture him more. But Sung-han's man gets scared and tells Jae-ho the truth. He says that Mr. Ko, Han's own boss, sent Sung-han to kill him because he is afraid that Jae-ho will become a rival in the future. Jae-ho kills Sung-han and makes it look like a heart attack. The story then switches to the present day, 32 days after Hyun-soo left the jail. Mr. Ko is suspicious about Sung-han's case. He thinks that someone killed him. Mr. Ko worries that Jae-ho knows his secret, but his nephew Kim tells him not to worry. He says that he heard from the jail that Sung-han died of a heart attack. Mr. Ko tells him that they have a big drug deal with the Russians and they will need Jae-ho for the deal, but after that, they will get rid of him. The story moves on with a flashback to 3.5 years ago. Inspector In-suk is having a meeting with senior officers. She tells them that they have no solid evidence against Mr. Ko, the drug dealer, but she has a plan to take down his gang. They will send an undercover agent to the jail and make friends with Han, Mr. Ko's right-hand man. Then they will join his gang and expose them. In-suk is choosing Hyun-soo for this mission, but Hyun-soo doesn't want to do it. He has to take care of his mother, who is sick and needs a kidney transplant. In-suk promises him that she will look after his mother and pay for the transplant. Hyun-soo has no choice but to agree, so he goes to the jail and befriends Han. One day, Kim visits Han. He tells him that Mr. Ko sent Sung-han to kill him. Kim says that he doesn't like his uncle and he wants to be the boss. Jae-ho tells him that he killed Sung-han and he knows his secret and now he will help him to overthrow Mr. Ko when he gets out of jail. But then Hyun-soo gets the news that his mother died in an accident. He is heartbroken. He asks In-suk to let him out of the jail for a day, but In-suk refuses. But Jae-ho feels sorry for Hyun-soo, so he uses his money and power to get him out of jail for a day. Hyun-soo goes to his mother's funeral and comes back. Now, their friendship becomes stronger. On that night, Jae-ho tells Hyun-soo that he learned not to trust anyone, but only the situations. The story continues with the present day, 127 days after Hyun-soo left the jail. He is now a member of Han's gang and he is very important to them. He goes to negotiate with another gangster, but he doesn't like what he says. He stabs his hand with a knife and starts a fight. Jae-ho and his men come to help him and they kill many of the other gangsters. Hyun-soo also breaks his watch, which has a microphone device. The police are listening to him and they think that he is betraying them. A few days later, Jae-ho and Hyun-soo go to a club to meet a Russian drug dealer. Hyun-soo gets a text from a policeman and he goes outside. He tells Hyun-soo that the police are suspicious of him and they give him a new watch. Hyun-soo doesn't know how dangerous it is and tells him that he is risking his life for them. Jae-ho comes looking for Hyun-soo and sees him with the policeman. Hyun-soo lies and says that he was using the bathroom and the policeman was disturbing him. Jae-ho gets angry and beats up the policeman. But he is still doubtful of Hyun-soo and he searches him in the elevator. He doesn't find anything, but Hyun-soo gets mad at him. Hyun-soo tells him that he is loyal to him and that he is betraying his police came for him. But Jae-ho doesn't trust anyone easily because he has been betrayed by many people, including his own boss, Mr. Ko. Hyun-soo tells him that he will never betray him because he helped him when no one else did. Now Jae-ho and Kim are at a restaurant. Kim asks Jae-ho when he will kill Joe, the undercover officer who infiltrated their gang, and Jae-ho says he will do it soon. The story goes back to the past. We see how Jae-ho and Kim found out that Hyun-soo was a cop. They met him in jail when Jae-ho was arrested. Jae-ho told him not to tell anyone about Joe's identity. He would make Hyun-soo betray the police and join their gang, and then he admits that Jae-ho was the one who killed Joe's mom in a car accident. He did this to make Hyun-soo hate the police. Jae-ho used his influence to get out of jail for a day, and he convinced Hyun-soo that he was loyal to him and his gang. The story returns to the present. We see Hyun-soo sitting near his mom's grave. He is sad and lonely. Suddenly, some men come and kidnap him. They take him to a warehouse. They remove the cloth from his mouth. Hyun-soo sees that it is In-suk, his police boss, who kidnapped him. In-suk is doubtful that Hyun-soo is still loyal to the police. He wants to test him. He asks Hyun-soo some questions and makes him do some tasks. Hyun-soo passes the test. He tells In-suk that he knows about a big drug deal with the Russian and he will tell her the town and place when he knows. Hyun-soo also asks In-suk if she knows who killed his mom. In-suk lies and says he doesn't know. The story takes us back to a year ago when In-suk was investigating a car accident that killed Joe's mother. She found out that the accident was caused by Han, but she decided to keep this information secret from Joe because she feared that he would lose his focus on the mission. A few days ago, Hyun-soo told In-suk about a big drug deal that Han's gang was planning to make with some Russian buyer. He gave her the details of the town, place, and truck number. In-suk prepared a large police team to raid the deal and arrest the gangsters. However, when she arrived at the scene, she was shocked to find that the truck was empty except for some adult toys. She realized that Hyun-soo had betrayed her and given her false information. She felt angry and humiliated as the other police officers laughed at her. Meanwhile, Hyun-soo had gone with Jae-ho and some other gangsters to another location where the real drug deal was taking place. He had helped Jae-ho to trick the police and escape their trap. He showed that he was more loyal to his friend Jae-ho to the law. Jae-ho had another plan in mind. He wanted to take over the drug business from his boss, Mr. Ko. He had also recruited Kim, Mr. Ko's nephew, to join his side. As soon as they received the drugs from the Russians, they shot them all and killed them. They also killed Mr. Ko and his men who were unaware of the betrayal. Jae-ho and Hyun-soo became the new leaders of the drug gang with Kim as their ally. But Mao In-suk called Hyun-soo to the police station and showed him the video recording of the accident that killed his mother. She told him that he was supporting the man who was his mother's murderer. Hyun-soo was stunned and furious. He asked her why she hid this from him till date. In-suk said that she did not want to spoil the operation. Hyun-soo remembered what he had told him once. Never trust the circumstances, but trust the person. Circumstances can make a person do anything. Hyun-soo decided to call Jae-ho and warn him that someone from their gang was associated with the police and asked Jae-ho if there was anyone else who knew that he was an undercover agent. Jae-ho said that only Kim knew besides him. Hyun-soo told Jae-ho that Kim had told the police that he's supporting him despite being undercover. So Jae-ho called Kim to his house at night and confronted him. him. He asked him why he cheated him. Hyun denied it and tried to convince Jae-ho that he was his friend. But Jae-ho did not listen and he beat him until Kim gave up. Then Jae-ho took the drugs and money and went to his old hideout where he had asked Hyun-soo to meet him. He did not know that Hyun-soo had another clan. Hyun-soo had decided to kill Jae-ho and avenge his mother. Hyun-soo also informed In-suk about the location. Hyun-soo confronts Jae-ho and asks him why he killed his mother. After hearing this, Jae-ho takes out his gun and aims at Joe. Now, Jae-ho is shocked and tries to justify his action. He says that he did it to include Hyun-soo in his gang and that he does not enjoy killing people, but it is necessary for their business. Hyun-soo tells Jae-ho to shoot him quickly because the police can come anytime. Jae-ho hesitates because he likes Hyun-soo a lot. He does not want to kill him. But then the police arrive led by In-suk. They start firing at Jae-ho and his men. Jae-ho fights back and kills some of the policemen. Hyun-soo knows that Jae-ho will not shoot at him, so he asks for permission from his fellow policemen to kill Han. The policeman doubts that Hyun-soo is in collusion with Han, so he starts beating Joe. Meanwhile, Jae-ho comes there and shoots the policeman, saving Joe. Now, Jae-ho manages to get out of the hideout without harming Joe. But In-suk follows Jae-ho and hits him with her van, injuring him badly. She takes the key from his pocket and opens the door of the hideout where she finds the drugs and money. But then Hyun-soo comes there and shoots In-suk, killing her. He does this because he thinks that In-suk is a selfish policewoman who used him to complete her operation. He then gives the gun to Han so that it can be traced on his fingerprints. He wants to make it look like Jae-ho killed In-suk and then himself. Jae-ho tells him not to make the same mistake he made by leaving him alive. Hyun-soo ignores him and closes his nose and mouth, suffocating him. In the last scene of the film, we see Hyun-soo sitting in a chair with a painful expression on his face. He is not satisfied with what he has done. He has lost everything: his mother, his friend, and his conscience. Don't go anywhere. Click the video on your screen to keep these wild movie recaps rolling. Smash that like button and subscribe for more insane movie adventures. I'll catch you film fanatics on the next one.